And tell me when it was growing, so your bookmaking operation was growing. I find it a fascinating world, and I think most people don't understand quite how it works.
Sure.
So paint the picture for me. How exactly does it work?
Okay.
So you left brokering, and then
Right.
you start this. Did you
Right.
did, was did you it was did you have a company? Because very much operated like a company. Did it have a name? Was it
Yeah.
organized like that?
I mean, to a degree, you can't advertise. You don't have a business card, but
Right.
I was a CEO of a very large corporation. There's no doubt about it, and I ran it that way. So when I was 30, that's when I really decided, okay, I'm going to do this full time. There's no other job. This is my income. Then I really put my 100% into it. And once the internet came, is when I knew I could scale it. And I saw that opportunity. I was one of the first bookmakers to go to Costa Rica and set up a per head shop, they call it, which basically means they facilitate all my actions. So everything was run through the hub in Costa Rica. That's what made it a little bit legal.
So these are gambling sites that they had in Costa Rica
Correct.
that already existed, and you went down there and you sort of made a contract with them.
Correct.
Or
No, you're right. I went down there and I said, look, I want to start my own website
uh-huh.
because I wanted my website to be specifically for me.
Uh-huh.
And the reason for that is there was a lot of people having these problems. Let's say that you opened a website and let's say you're a person that had no integrity and didn't pay your customers. If I'm using that website gets known throughout the industry and the community. Oh, if you bet with this website, you don't get paid.
Right, and reputation is everything.
Yeah,
That's
so
what's
much. It's
first.
actually the only thing really
Right.
in that business. So I wanted my own website
Mhm.
because I first started on what they call a platform. It was called Data Wager, and Data Wager was where like a million bookies were using it. Well, again, that's the problem I started seeing. So then I went down there and said, I want to start my own. So I created my own. It was called breakthebookie.net.
Mhm.
And I wanted the customer to feel like they could beat the bookie, you know?
That's great.
So I started that,
Very smart.
right? And that took off. And then I started developing more websites
Mhm.
because I wanted different platforms for my customers. I want to give them options. I wanted to also I had an online casino that had, imagine cameras on us right now, and you have a blackjack table, a roulette table, a craps table, and they could see live dealing so that when they would bet, the cards were live. There's no cheating.
Mhm.
And the dealer would talk to you. So
Mhm.
you would say on your phone or computer, hi, Mariana. And the dealer would say, hi, Matt, literally and wave to you. So you knew it was real.
Was that something that didn't exist at the time?
No, not then.
It exists now,
It
right?
does. And it took a while. I would say maybe 10 years ago, that's about when that started. And so we were the first to develop all these things because they had online blackjack and stuff, but it was just looking at a screen and everyone thought it was being rigged because you don't see it. So we decided to develop a way where you could see it.
Yeah.
So to get, a portal where you can go online and actually feel like you're not being, robbed,
Robbed, yeah, you were
they loved
cards,
it.
yeah.
And so that took off too.
Uh-huh.
And so now, as you know, I mean, fast forwarding to today's economy, they have everything. But my websites had most of these things early days. So I was able to offer things that other bookmakers weren't.
So you had the casino, you had what else did you have? You had
Well, yep.
sports betting?
Yeah, casino. We even had poker for a little while, but that was kind of a disaster
Mhm.
because getting people to a poker table, at certain times and all that. But mainly it was I took every sports there was. I mean, it was soccer, cricket.
And was it different websites for different sports, or was it all in the
No,
same?
they all had the same thing, but they were just different
Uh-huh.
platforms. And the reason why is, let's say you were a customer of mine and you just kept losing to me and you're kind of fed up and I could feel it. I'd say, Mariana, why don't you try this other website?
Mm.
Different,
Uh-huh.
it's just to change it up because I knew that you're close to shutting it down, or maybe you're just feeling that this is unlucky because let's be honest, superstition is very big in gambling. So I would convert you to a different website.
Uh-huh. So, Matt, at this point, you were started making a lot of money, right? What was the most amount? What was like your peak? How much money were you making?
My peak was 2023. I made, I think, 16 million that year.
Wow.
But that was my peak year.
And how did you launder, like, how did you wash
That
this money?
that that
How
was,
do you clean it?
I think, the as a bookmaker, that was the biggest challenge actually. People don't realize that. They think, I mean, you have to know what you're doing. You got to vet customers. There's a lot of nuances to running this business, especially at this level. But I had to move $5 to $7 million every Monday throughout the country.
Mhm.
That
To pay for bets for people who won and
and lost.
lost, yeah.
And I had about 1,200 clients at my peak, but I know a lot of bookmakers that had 3,000 clients, but the volume wasn't even a tenth of what I was doing because I had more high celebrities, athletes, people that are known that would come to me because I would take bigger bets than most people.
Did you have people that you turned away that wanted to bet with you, but you said no? For what?
Only if they were known as a professional or a sharp, they call it. A sharp is a word that we use for guys who actually win. And that's a person that basically runs algorithms. They run robot algorithms that run this simulates a game.
Is it easy to spot them?
Oh yeah, it's in 2 seconds.
Because what, they start winning a lot and you realize, okay, this guy's
It's
probably
not even that they're winning a lot. We know they're going to win a lot. It's they start betting on a Wednesday a game that's going off on a Sunday. They're betting 5 days in advance, and the line that they bet moves drastically. So let me give you an example. Let's say a college football game, UCLA is playing USC this weekend, just as argument's sake. Let's say the spread is -7. Okay. Their computer will run the system down 1,000 different ways based on the referees, the wind, everything things you would never even think of, right? And it runs it down, and it'll spit out a number on all these variances. It'll say -3, -2, minus, like, it's basically telling you all these different ways that this line is wrong. It shouldn't be -7. So now if you know you're getting 7 and they have like a 4 or 5 point edge, that's massive in a sports bet, right? So basically they'll just come in and they'll bet +7 on my website.
Right. You're like,
And they're betting on a Wednesday. Well, a normal gambler doesn't do that. They bet on Saturday morning, an hour before the game goes off, or 5 minutes before it's on TV.
yeah, because you don't know what can happen until then, right? The player can get injured, or
That's
I don't
correct.
know, whatever.
100%.
Weather can change.
Yeah. Or as a degenerate gambler,
Right.
you don't even care about that game until it's on TV.
Right.
You're not worried about what's happening next Saturday.
Right.
You're worried about what's happening today. So they're easy to pick off.
Okay, so those you would say no to, but that's
Yeah.
about it. If people
Yeah.
had money, they would come and bet, you'd say yes.
The only time I would really say no to is if like the referral is not a strong referral. You know, for example, if you have a guy who doesn't have a really good pay history with you, and he all of a sudden is referring some big customer, it's like,
I mean, I'm sure a lot of your customers actually had huge gambling issues,
of
right?
course.
And would you ever turn them down, knowing that they're about to lose their house or have whatever
Definitely.
major family problems? Was there ever part of you that was, okay, this is not right, I don't feel good, even though he's willing to
Absolutely.
pay millions of dollars?
I don't want to sit here and act like I'm an angel, because I'm not. But I had a lot of clients that were betting more money than they could afford. No question. But I wasn't in need of money so bad that I would just watch someone just bury themselves and hurt their life to the point. In fact, I've even told people, I'm like, look, you're losing way too much. I know we have a 10-year history. I know that you can't afford this. Let's just cut it back. You know, let's, instead of a $2,000 a game, how about I give you $500 a game? Let's lower your credit line and keep it more reasonable. Because I know in the long run that they're going to lose money.
Right.
But listen,
And it's better for you too, right?
It is.
Because you can keep them for longer.
Yes. And listen, if you have a guy, a plumber, great example, nothing wrong with being a plumber. In fact, I'm going to prison, so I wish I was a plumber. But the point is, if he makes $70,000 a year and he spends $5,000 of that gambling, that's probably affordable. But if he loses 30,
Right.
it's going to affect his life.
Right.
And even though I would like to make 30,000 off of someone, of course, that's why I was running a business, I would prefer him to pay me 5,000 over the next 10 years and make 50. And it doesn't affect his life. He has fun. Nobody gets hurt. His family's fine. So that's a sweet spot, right? And you have to find a way as a bookmaker to also train your employees, my agents and sub-agents, to understand how to do that.